Radical self-care is not a luxury, but it is a power move. Hi, my name is Samantha Gregory. I am the host of The Blissful Life and your self-care alchemist. I'm also the creator of Sammy, your self-care BFF, who is a clone of me, and I'm excited that I get to share this with you today. But before I go into that, I want to talk about radical self care is not a luxury, it's really a power move, and how redefining self care as a non negotiable strategy for powerful women can prevent burnout, restore energy, and elevate every area of your life from relationships to revenue. So, what comes to mind when you think about self care? For a lot of people, it's spa days or bubble baths, but self care really goes beyond that. It is beyond bubble baths, it's beyond mimosas and manicures and just weekend crash outs, basically. But there's a new framework for radical self care, and it is all about how you show up for yourself and remembering that this is an inside out job. This is about sustainable self care strategies that you implement every single day. It is literally a lifestyle. And that's what I'm promoting here on the Blissful Life, a self care lifestyle, so that you don't have to escape from the life, but you have integrated self care so deeply into your life that you are waking up every morning, and self care is a part of the routine, part of the ritual. And that is something that I've been creating for myself over the last few years. And I've been encouraging other people to do the same, especially women who are struggling and on the brink of burnout, who are dealing with overwhelmed, who are dealing with this self sacrificing lifestyle that tells them that they must always be giving of themselves, doing much more than they need to be doing in order to keep the peace, not rock the boat, and make other people happy while putting their own happiness on the back burner. So, why must you prioritize yourself first? I talked about that this morning on a quick TikTok video I did. And it was just like I was sitting there making my tea, and this thought came to my mind. I know it was my higher self. I call her Goddess Ananda. And she was simply saying to me, if every person, every adult would simply focus on taking care of their own selves, their own needs, then we literally could arrive at a utopia much faster. Because right now we're living in a point in history in our society, especially in the United States, where we are literally, the house is burning and people are stressed out to the max, especially women who are having to deal with men in their lives who have to take care of children and take care of parents and take care of everyone else but themselves. They don't even have time to take care of themselves. And so, if everybody would take responsibility for their own lives, then everything in life, in the world, would probably run much better. Everybody will be happier. There will be nobody who will be putting themselves last and feeling resentful and depressed and dealing with anxiety and all the other mental health issues. And so this has really been heavy on my heart. This has been something that a topic that I am committing to bringing to the forefront and speaking out about more and more and more. I'm specifically talking to Black women because Black women have these invisible burdens and barriers, lack of boundaries, because we have been programmed and groomed to believe that we don't deserve anything more than labor on behalf of other people. And I'm totally against that. I believe that we have the opportunity to be self we have a right to thrive. Let me just put it like that. We have a right to thrive. We have a right to be happy. We have a right to be autonomous in our happiness and not needing permission from other people to be happy. So when we put ourselves first, our health gets better, our mindset gets better, our emotions get better. We get off that emotional eating train, our hormones balance out. But if we continue on the path that we're on and we're always putting ourselves last and enjoying life seems foreign, then we're going to crash out. We're going to be depressed, angry. We're going to probably fulfill all the stereotypes that people say about us anyway. But when we put ourselves first, that no longer is the norm for us. We get to thrive instead of survive. We get to have a glow up. We get to be in ease and flow. And we get to teach our daughters to do the same thing. I look at my daughter now and she is in film school. She is working hard. And yes, she's following her dream, but the time to relax, enjoy life is few and far between. And being caught up in other people's drama is also becoming more of the norm because of misogyny, sexism, racism, and every other ism out there because she's a black woman and people are expecting her to have this, are expecting her to physically and emotionally labor while others sit back and watch. And I've been trying my best to keep her on track and not falling into that hole of self-sacrifice and doing what other people want her to do. That's tough because she's seen me in her early years working hard, always being on, always taking care of other people, doing the most, basically overachieving, juggling so many balls in the air is ridiculous, and not really having downtime where I can relax, I can have fun, I can smile. She rarely saw me smile. And now I'm having to, now that I've gotten to this on the other side of that, and I'm creating this life, this self care lifestyle, and this space to be less accommodating for other people and more concerned about my own mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial health. And now that I smile more, now that I'm loving life more, now that I'm in love with myself more, my goal is to give her that bandwidth to be able to do that sooner than I was able to do it. It's not easy because it's been ingrained because we don't necessarily learn by automatically nature. We learn by nurture. And she was nurtured to believe that black women labor, that black women are unhappy, that black women must struggle, that black women don't have great relationships. But now I'm having to go back and undo that, to apologize for my part, the part that I played in that, and to give her another viewpoint so that she can see, know, believe that it doesn't have to be that way, and that she can live a life of a princess. Her nickname for one of the family members was Princess Sugar Plum. She's probably going to hate that I'm saying this right now, but I believe that she is princess material and that she does get to have happily ever after, but it does have to come from the inside out. And just like you can have your happily ever after, but it must come from the inside out. You are deserving of it. And in order to get there, you have to create better boundaries. You have to plug up your energy leaks. You have to reclaim your life from societal expectations and be reprogrammed. This is not an overnight thing. This is a systematic, daily, intentional thing that you really have to do in order to evolve into a self care lifestyle, recognizing that it's not luxury, it's not something that is far fetched and out of your reach, it is literally available to you every single moment of every day. But it does take intention. It does take looking at your life and deciding that you want more, you want better, you want to live the self care lifestyle and not the self sacrificing lifestyle. Creating boundaries. What does that mean? Saying no. That means that you look at your calendar, you block off time for yourself first. Stephen Covey in Seven Habits of Highly Effective People had the um, prioritizing A, B, and C, or the big stones theory, where all the big stones which are the big, most important things in your life, go on your calendar first. I happened to go through the training program to actually present the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, so it has stuck with me. But those big things, those big stones, go in your proverbial life jar first, on your calendar first. You block that out, you block that off so that no one else can have access to that time or energy for you. And then the next is the medium sized things, the things that are important but not as important as family. Not as, let me take that back. Not as important as you. You are the most important item on your to do list. And then your family. And then maybe your career or work, extended family, or whatever else. Then the medium sized things, those obligations, everyday tasks, weekly things that you do. And then those things, those small pebble things, things that people want to just kind of interject into your life and take up time, energy, and space from you. Well, those things go last. So those last minute requests, those go last on your calendar. But though, and so that's how you set your boundaries from a calendar perspective, a scheduling perspective. So that when people ask if you can do this, that, or the other, you can look at your calendar or even just say, let me check my calendar first, or let me get back with you. Or I know that I'm overly committed and I'm not able to do that. Setting boundaries is important. Setting boundaries in your personal life, your professional life is crucial because it's going to determine how people treat you, because we literally teach people how to treat us, right? So boundaries is that first line of defense for you. And then plugging up your energy leaks. What are those energy leaks that you have? The people, sometimes it's people, sometimes it's your emotions that you haven't really regulated yet. It may be trauma that you haven't dealt with yet. It could be people who are demanding so much from you that you feel obligated because they gave you something at one point in time in life, and now you feel they make you feel like you owe them. That can change. Those energy leaks are you not taking care of yourself, not eating right, not getting enough rest. You leak out energy that way. So you want to begin to plug those energy leaks, which goes back to taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority. So every day you decide, well, what nutritional habits do I need to create and maintain for myself so that my body stays strong, so that I'm getting the right nutrients, so that I'm getting my vitamins and minerals, because that definitely impacts how you feel. It impacts you every single day. So plugging up those energy leaks, it could be people who are draining your energy, those energy vampires around you, those people who are always negative, those people who have nothing great to say. It could be what you're consuming in terms of entertainment. If it's all negative and dark and low vibrational, it could be leaking your energy. So you want to plug that up. And then you want to reclaim your life from societal expectations. What does that mean? Well, women must always do X, Y, Z. They must be the one to take care of the home and take care of the kids on top of going to work. They can never complain. They must always be smiling. They must always be giving. Or if you're in a church environment, you must always volunteer. You must always give. You must always be available for when the pastor or the first lady or when the person in leadership needs you. You must always be giving and giving and giving and giving again. You adhere to every detail of the scriptures, and you believe that if you don't follow them 100%, that you're sinning, that you're going to be lost forever. Well, that's not true. These societal expectations keep you locked in obligation to systems that don't serve you. Self care is about finding those things that serve you, that lift you up, that energize you, that make you feel happy, healthy, and whole. This is about radical self care. This is about you creating power moves in your life so that you are not depleted, that you're not giving from the last drop. It's so important to find your space, find the place where you how the find out how the find out the things that make you thrive. Find the things that make you feel great, feel wonderful. That when you wake up in the morning, you're not dragging yourself out of the bed, that you're regretting, resenting the day that's ahead of you because you're not in control of that day, because you're operating by everyone else's agenda and not your own. So you must create your own agenda. You must create the life that you want. It may seem like a dream, it may seem far fetched, it may seem like you can't really get to that space because you have so many things you have to do. Well, you can either do a clean sweep of your life or you can incrementally eliminate things from your life that don't serve you, that causes more problems, pain, issues, that starts to affect your health. If you are an executive, a professional, a business owner, you automatically juggle a lot of balls, plates in the air. You wear many hats. But even then, you can create the life that you want. You can, and it requires simplifying things bit by bit, little by little, because there are people watching you and they are treating you the way you treat yourself. Another thing that my higher self, Miss God, my goddess Ananda, said to me was, how can you expect other people to give you a luxury experience when you're expecting and only allowing bare minimum experiences in your own life, when you're only giving yourself the bare minimum? Because again, we teach people how to treat us. We teach people how to treat us. We teach people how to treat us. And self-care, radical self-care, is about saying no to the people who are treating us badly, saying no to treating ourselves badly, and starting to treat ourselves well. We can't go through life expecting five-star experiences when we're only giving ourselves the bare minimum. It doesn't make sense. It does not work. You get what you give yourself. That's a harsh truth in reality, but it's still true. So, redefining self care as a non negotiable strategy so that you can prevent burnout and restore your energy and elevate every area of your life, from your relationships to revenue, is what we've been chatting about in this podcast today. I didn't really talk about the revenue piece because that's a whole nother episode, because you don't realize how much money you're actually leaking. This is part of that energy. Money is energy. You don't realize how much money you're leaking, how much you're leaving on the table, how hard it is to get ahead from a revenue perspective if you're constantly giving so much of your power away. So I'm challenging you to take a look at your schedule, take a look at your life, take a look at the people in your life, and see who is causing the leaks. Now, ultimately, it's you causing the leaks because you've allowed these people, these experiences, these institutions to take away your time, your energy. But you can plug up those leaks. You can start treating yourself better. You can create a self care plan. And if you need help and support, I do offer that service. I can help you with that. But you can do it and you can start today. You can make radical self care your lifestyle, not just a weekend experience from an external perspective. No, this is a sustainable, inside out experience that you embody every single day. I'm excited for you because I believe that you can literally change your life in the next 30 days. You can change your whole life in the next 30 days, 90 days for sure. And I would love to be a part of that process for you. I would love to help you with that. And there's a few ways that we can work together. The first way is through my AI digital coach called Sammy. That's self care, abundance, mindset, and intuition. She's a digital coach. You can go to samanthagregory.com/Sammy, SAMI, and you can chat with her. It's free for the first 5 texts. And if you enter your email address, you can get 10 free text messages and 5 minutes of voice messages. Now, what is Sammy? Sammy is my digital clone. She is me. She is my mind because I have included all of my coaching videos, podcasts like this, articles, everything that I have talked about, written about, done videos on is inside of her. And so you can go and have a conversation with her like you're talking with me. That's the first way. And then there's going to be membership tiers where you can eventually get more time with her, whether it's text or video, voice. The second way is voice note coaching. And that is where we do an asynchronous coaching experience where we don't necessarily get on Zoom or phone call, but we talk via voice notes. And I use Voxer. And you can have a conversation with me and I can coach you through whatever the blocks that you're having right now to radical self care and creating that lifestyle. I can help you through creating a self care plan. You can do it as a membership or in blocks of time with me. You send me messages anytime, 24/7, doesn't matter, and I answer them within my office hours. But it is a impactful way to experience coaching with me on your time frame. Whenever you need me, you can just talk and I can respond during my office hours. I have one-on-one video coaching. I'm trying to make coaching with me accessible because no matter what your time budget is or your financial budget is, everyone can have time with me to talk about radical self care, how to make it a lifestyle, how to set up boundaries, plug your energy leaks, reclaim your life so that you can live blissful, you can have more balance. But it's really up to you. That next step is up to you. My links are in the description. You can choose your adventure with me. I'm excited about that. But keep in mind that radical self care is not a luxury. It is a power move. It is for powerful women who are stuck in cycles of self sacrifice, low boundaries, out of balance, and who are ready to reclaim their lives. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Blissful Life podcast. You absolutely deserve a life where you are no longer struggling and feeling overwhelmed. You deserve a life you truly love where you're thriving and creating the bliss you desire and deserve. Until next time, share this episode with someone who is on the brink of burnout. They are struggling and they could use these strategies right now. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to this podcast, I am committing to a weekly, at least, podcast where I am sharing my tips, my strategies, my lessons of burnout and bliss. And I'm pretty soon I'm going to be sharing my entire story of how I went from burnout to balance to blissful living. I hope that you'll join me then. And I'll be on some other podcasts. I'll be sharing those with you where I go and I share my tips and strategies on other people's podcasts. And if you would like me to come on your podcast, I would be happy to. Just shoot me an email and I will be there to share all that I can so that all women, especially Black women, can live a blissful life. Take care, be well, and we will chat with you next time.